prompt way than not. And that's what the framework does.
I think I did see, was it a TED Talk with the bicycle with the reverse engineer
I
as
think he
well?
did a TED Talk, but then I also just saw a YouTube video. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And I think it would be totally very hard because of the amount of programming and the association, as you said, in the mind that says, no, when you turn the handlebars this way, you go that way. And to rewire that would take a long time. That's really
Yeah,
great
riding a
example.
bike is ideomotor, meaning like so your nervous system, and we'll talk about that in Thrive, handwriting. When you handwrite something, it goes right in because it's an ideomotor activity, engages your nervous system in the learning. So we're not just a mind and a body walking around that just happen to be, no, it's all connected. So when you learn a dance move, a sequence, some people they're like, oh, this just comes naturally to me. But there's a part of the brain that has that seared in, right?
Hmm.
So that's the point, is whether it's riding a bike, the same searing happens with emotional reactions, conclusions about what this person's behavior means to me. That's another thing I learned too, John, is most of the things that really cause us to be emotionally upset, negative, sad, depressed, angry, it isn't so much the event. It's what we have decided it means to us and means about us and for us, another person. So you have a fight with somebody and it's not even the event. It's this means they don't like me, value me, respect me, or love me. This person didn't do this, which means they didn't clean up the sink, so they probably don't respect or care about me. Why is that important? Because it goes to that fundamental human thing. Now, most people aren't self-aware enough to know that, so they'll just blame the other person for being disrespectful and not listening and finishing the dishes, right? It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with what it connects to. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do the dishes, but you don't need to have a major blow up. You can deal with the emotion of it and just figure out another plan. A good example I'll give real quick is, for a while I would get upset with my husband when he wouldn't lock the door from the garage to the house, and now it's all locked, multiple lock, whatever. But for a while I would get upset about that because it went to feelings of what? Safety, security, right? Primal feelings. I didn't aware of that. And then one day I just said, wait a second, it's totally within my responsibility to lock the door too. I'll just lock it. But I was outsourcing, like, you won't want to keep me safe. You don't want to protect me, which goes to love. So I was like stacking a bunch of them versus I can lock the door. Now, the second I did that, he locks it every time because
Wow.
it's just so weird. Like once you come out of that back and forth drama, it doesn't have any place. And I always check it because that's what we do. But I'm like, wow, it had nothing to do with the door. Even though in that moment, it felt like it had everything to do with the door and him. It had everything to do with my own safety and security. And I thought, what am I complaining about? Can I physically lock the door? Yeah, done. Oh, problem solved. But I disconnected it from the meaning, from the threat to my safety.
That's got to be so freeing to not have to blame and put the locus of control on other people, but to really bring it inside and have
Yeah.
that empowerment.
And your relationships get better, your health gets better, you feel better. You don't feel like you're walking around waiting for the next emotion to take you in the wind,
Thank you
right?
for
Doesn't
sharing
mean
that. Yeah,
difficulty.
I'm feeling better right now, just
You're
as a
feeling
result of
better right
that.
now.
That
Yeah. Now, look, it doesn't mean difficulty isn't going to happen, but you develop systems. So when it does, number one, you go, I know what's happening. I'm clicking into this. Now, how do I shift? And where are my tools and resources versus people stay in that for days, weeks, and then it's just an explosion.